Once upon a time, in a not-so-far-away land, a bizarre event occurred. All the women in the world vanished overnight. One day, they were there, grumbling about the socks on the floor, and the next day, poof, gone. This is the tale of that perplexing phenomenon. First, meet Bob. Bob is your typical average Joe who has just woken up and realized that his beloved spouse, Martha, is nowhere to be found. "Martha, are you hiding in the closet again, trying to scare me?" Bob shouted. No reply, just the eerie sound of silence. Bob enjoyed his solitude for the first 15 minutes, thinking perhaps Martha left for a retreat. But then he noticed. There were no updates on social media from any woman. There was only football on every channel, and the assortment in the grocery store had dwindled to beer and chips. Next, we have Steve, the neighbor. Steve fancied himself an amateur chef who loved cooking for his girlfriend, Emma. However, when he went to check on Emma's well-being, he found that the kitchen light was off, and a note was left saying, "Sorry, Steve, gone without a trace." Steve, for once, lit the stove himself. Within 5 minutes, he managed to set off the fire alarm. Down the road lived Jerry, the self-proclaimed ladies' man. Jerry was in a tizzy because his dating app turned into a version of Find Waldo. All the profiles were men. He kept refreshing, thinking maybe it was a glitch, but alas, no such luck. Meanwhile, at the corporate office, Roger had a major predicament. With no women around to manage the intricacies of HR, customer service, and PR, the company chaos ensued. The coffee machine was stuck on double espresso, the payroll system was in shambles, and without women to add organization to the mayhem, the office turned into a bureaucratic battleground. Of course, the biggest shock came to the government. Lawmakers panicked. Who would they blame their incompetence on now? Debates raged on national TV. A comedic female impersonator became an overnight celebrity, giving reassuring speeches on behalf of the missing women. National productivity plummeted, and everyone rued the mystical woman absence problem. Days turned into weeks, and the men, each stuck in their comical rut, finally accepted that perhaps they undervalued their female counterparts. Then the twist. Women reappeared, each carrying an air of nonchalance and a 1,000-yard stare. No one dared ask where they had been. Bob made a mental note to never leave socks on the floor again. Steve bought a fire extinguisher. Jerry downloaded a self-help dating podcast. At the office, a new manual titled "How Not to Mess Things Up in Absence of Common Sense" was distributed. The moral of the story? Appreciate what you have before it vanishes.